Happy Sunday morning. I want to talk about the hero worship of Luigi Mangione. He is presently on trial for his assassination of the United Health CEO dude. And I have been stirred into discussing this by Alan Elrod, who is a mutual of mine on Blue Sky. Alan Elrod is more to the right of me. He's more of a liberal guy, but he's always very thoughtful, and I really appreciate his willingness to have civil disagreement. It helps me be a better thinker, and I hope it helps him be a better thinker. And he wanted to challenge this notion of lionizing Luigi Mangione by saying, I think if you're only capable of caring about someone's life based on a friend-enemy distinction, then you need to examine your soul. I'm not a pacifist, but even in necessary wars, I consider every individual death a tragedy. Shooting a guy in the street isn't even that, it's just murder. And then he says, I'm not sure even half of you would talk this way face to face. Our phones, social media, and this place just turn people into fake hardos who need to post about how they'd do one for the revolution. First off, having a cathartic response to the murder of Brian Thompson, or for that matter, Charlie Kirk, doesn't make one a bad person. I mean, we didn't pull the trigger, did we? And just because we make jokes about waiting for the inevitable headline of Trump dropping dead, that doesn't make us bad people. Late-stage capitalism has reached deeply pernicious levels in American life when one considers the housing crisis, the fact that everything is unaffordable, and also the jobs crisis right now. I think it's perfectly reasonable when we are approaching Great Depression levels of anxiety to have a little dark humor every now and then, especially when the justice system is completely incompetent at bringing civil remedies to the true monsters in our society. It is estimated that anywhere from 25,000 to 68,000 Americans die every year because they are denied health care coverage. Now, where is your moral outrage for them, Alan? For decades now, progressives have called for universal health care. Obamacare didn't cut the mustard because it really wasn't very affordable. But hey, Democrats who are beholden to PAC money and special interests are going to Democrat, aren't they? But the reality now is that Democrats are absolutely incapable of pushing forward policies that make things more affordable for the American people. The thousands of people who die each year who were denied coverage, they have families, they have friends. Oh, and there's also medical debt on top of that. So I don't think it makes one soulless to have the occasional homicidal fantasy towards someone who wishes mass death upon the American people and who practices policies that encourage that. People have turned to Luigi Mangione as a hero, not because they want more vigilantes in American life. It's because this apparently is the only alternative to a failed system that fails to help the American people and bring greedy plutocrats to justice. And while I am genuinely moved by Alan's commitment to a firm moral compass, there's no room in his view for what I'm discussing. The senseless slaughter of Americans who cannot get health care, who cannot get jobs. Now we're getting into neoliberalism in which one looks the other way as people are pushed out of cities, as people have no means, no savings to pay their bills. As we face the jobs and housing epidemics right now, how many deaths are happening out of sight, out of mind? I think that one is more soulless in not considering that, in not vocalizing that, than having the occasional joke or revenge fantasy by way of Luigi Mangione. The obvious solution, the peaceful solution, would be to overhaul the justice system so that these bastards in power who enact policies that cause mass death like this serve hard time and are fined significantly. And that money might actually go to a universal healthcare system that will actually help the American people. That's what's called fighting corruption. I think that's ultimately what most people want. But the corporate Democrats are not doing anything like that right now. And this has been the case for decades. It's been like this for decades. People are increasingly desperate, especially now when it's harder for anyone who makes under $100,000 to live in America. Again, Alan, I like you. I appreciate you. I enjoy communicating with you. But I don't see you considering this in your argument.